In this video, I'm going to share 5 investment-related things to do in the 3 to 5 years before retirement. I've already done another video about things to do in those 3 to 5 years before retirement. I'll put a link to it in the description. But in this video, I want to focus on investment-related things to do in the 3 to 5 years before retirement. So we're only talking about investments. Okay, the very first thing to do is to organize your investments. And when I say organize your investments, I don't mean like clean out your file cabinet. I mean really get a handle on your asset allocation, really get a handle on where your money is, a handle on what kind of fees you're paying, really understand where your money is and get organized around that so that you feel in control of your money the day that you retire. And organizing also leads the way to making better investments. When we know what we have and we're really focused on it, we tend to go, wait a minute, now that I see this, I think I can do better with this or that, or I have too much risk here or there. So organizing your investments in the 3 to 5 years before you retire is super important. In my program, How to Retire and Fund Your Desired Lifestyle, I call this a treasure chest. I say we all have these treasure chests of investments, but we don't feel like they're in treasure chests. We feel like they're things that are intimidating or scary or kind of a hassle to take care of. Think of your investments as a treasure chest and keep that treasure chest organized. I'll put a link to my program in the description and in the comments if I remember, so you can check that out if you'd like. Okay. The second thing to do in the 3 to 5 years before retirement is to truly understand what determines the growth in your investment accounts, so you can supercharge your investments over those next 3 to 5 years before retirement. This will also help you keep your investments safe. Sequence of returns, risk, data, documents. It shows us, math doesn't lie. It shows us that if you have a bear market, if your money is invested in stocks and you experience a bear market in those few years just before or just after retirement, it can totally blow your retirement plan. So make sure that you have a handle on what moves the value of your investments, what really makes your accounts go up and down, and make sure that you understand that and you've got risk protection in place. The third thing to do in the 3 to 5 years before retirement is learn how macroeconomics affect your investments, and then apply what you learn about macroeconomics to your retirement plan. Think about it with regard to your future. Think about what's happening now, and it will give you a clue as to what's going to happen over the next few years. For example, most people go into retirement with a portfolio that's allocated between stocks and bonds, thinking that bonds will go up when stocks go down, because that's what's happened more often than not in recent decades. Stocks and bonds actually, though, have a positive correlation throughout history more often than not. For example, stocks and bonds were positively correlated, meaning they moved in the same direction in 3 of the 9 years from 1969 through 1977. So I'm talking about this. Let's put this in perspective. Just imagine if you retired in 1968 using an asset allocation between stocks and bonds, thinking that those bonds would offset a decrease in stocks, that they don't move together, that you're protected because when stocks go down, bonds go up. No, it didn't work in 3 of those 9 years. Having an awareness of how macroeconomics affect your investment returns will help you prepare for a successful financial retirement. Super, super important. And a lot of people overlook this. Okay, the fourth thing to do in the 3 to 5 years before retirement is become aware of the current macroeconomic situation. I just touched on that earlier, but one really good way to do this is to just participate in a weekly financial publication that updates you on macroeconomics. this doesn't have to be, you don't have to go get a PhD. It's just becoming aware of the macroeconomics, because this is what drives your investment returns. And you can just listen to a good podcast, you can listen to a newsletter, you can listen to videos. I always encourage everyone, when you're listening to something like this and you're taking the information, education, or advice to heart, think about what is the motive of the person that's doing the promotion, okay? Usually it's a financial advisory firm trying to get clients ultimately to use their services. Sometimes it's something different. Sometimes it's a service. This isn't to say they don't have good information. I actually listen to a financial advisor that I really like, his weekly information. I think it's excellent. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't do this. I'm saying just remember that there's always a little bit of a bias there on the information. My channel, what is my bias? Honestly, I'm a financial coach. I do a little bit of coaching and I have a program, but I'm really sharing information from having been an investor myself. I've worked with financial advisors that I've hired over the years, and I've invested personally. That's my bias, speaking of biases. So be aware when you do listen to that podcast, watch that YouTube video, of what is the motive behind the person that's giving you the information, because that's going to tilt their information toward using their product or service. Okay, the fifth thing to do in the 3 to 5 years before retirement is consider establishing at least one alternative income stream. If you've seen my channel and my other videos, you know that I love alternative income streams. It just greatly reduces the amount of money that you need to put aside for retirement. It's an excellent plan B. This can be anything from consulting in some way to maybe some form of real estate rental. There are hundreds of different ways you can generate income outside of your retirement account and even inside your retirement account to boost the income that you've earned from your retirement savings. So this can be done, again, outside your retirement account if you don't have enough money or don't know how, and or inside your retirement account if you want to be a little bit more advanced investor. I've done an entire video about 4 ways you can increase income from inside your retirement savings, besides just, dividends on the S&P 500, which is about 1.3% as of this recording. So that's negative, certainly negative after inflation. So I'll put a link to that video in the description, and I'll try to remember to put it in the comments as well, since the description's gotten a little bit tricky to find. And remember, retire certain.